From Gaza now to southern Egypt, where archaeologists have discovered the tomb of High Priestess adorned with well-preserved wall paintings. The Egyptian Minister of Antiquities believes the tomb found near the Giza pyramids was built for a woman priestess named Hetpet, a relative of the 5th Egyptian dynasty. She was associated with Hathor, the goddess of fertility. The paintings on the tomb's wall show scenes of musical and dancing performances. It also features monkeys dancing in front of an orchestra, which is a rare scene depicted in ancient Egyptian art. And joining me now to talk more about this is Dr. Galit Ben Tovel, an Egyptologist, formerly from the Hebrew University. Galit, so good to have you with me. Tell me a little bit about this find. It's quite rare that it would be a tomb for a woman that would be so lavish.
So a tomb for women, we have several tombs of women, but a woman that is a priestess is quite rare. Not without, we know in the manuscript that we have women that served as priestess in the ancient Egyptian history, but to find a tomb like that from this period, it's very rare. And we can learn a lot about the women priesthood in the early time in ancient Egypt. We have to say also that the women and men in the priesthood had equal rights. And this special priestess, her name is Hetpet, which means that she is doing the wish of the sky, meaning the wish of God, because the woman, the goddess that she is representing, it's the goddess of the sky. It's the goddess of fertility, by the name of Hathor. So probably she could be her high priest. And this cult of this ancient goddess mostly was served and worshipped by women. And it's one of the earliest cults in ancient Egypt. We have to say that the early time of ancient Egyptian history, in the priesthood, women had more power than men, and diminished slowly over the time. So yeah. And another interesting fact about this goddess Hathor, it's the same goddess that is also being represented in the story of Exodus. We all remember the calf, the golden calf that was created when Moses went up to get the 10 Commandments.
Right.
So this golden calf is the same symbol of the goddess Hathor, because she also was the goddess not only for fertility, but she was also a goddess that protected the travelers in the desert.
Oh, wow. That's fascinating. And only women worshipped her? Men worshipped a different, one of the other gods?
Well, men worshipped her as well, but the priesthood of Hathor was mainly for women. It's true that we had also some men, but mostly in, if I could say, administrative position in this cult specifically. For other gods, you could find also women and men serving as priests, but this special deity, this special goddess Hathor, was mainly worshipped by priestess.
And the extensive artwork that was found on the walls of this tomb, what does that tell us?
So first of all, the musician and the orchestra that they found also on the painting, it's part of the cult. The cult of this goddess was mainly about joy, dance, and music. So usually the priestess of the goddess Hathor used to walk in the streets of Egypt with a special necklace and also with a special sistrum. And all the cult was about joy, and music was part of it. They thought that music has a special power in healing, in bringing fertility as well. And all the ancient wisdom of the ancient Egyptian, music played a very important part of this cult. This is why I believe that you see all this orchestra and the dancer in the wall painting of this tomb.
Now, when we say that Hetpet is associated with this goddess, does that mean that the ancient Egyptians believed that she was part goddess and part human?
I wouldn't say that.
Or she represented.
She represented the goddess, I
Okay.
think. Yes, she had the power to connect with her. She represented the goddess, her wish in the world, you know, in the realistic world of today. And she was, if you want, a vehicle, you know.
The prayers went straight
Exactly.
to her. Okay.
Exactly. And if she was the high priest, she was the only one who was allowed to enter to the holy shrine of this goddess. So if Chetpet is the high priestess of this goddess, she was the only person who was allowed to enter the shrine and to do, you know, the whole tradition
all
in
the
front
rituals
of
there.
Exactly, of her statue.
Fascinating. Thank you so much, Dr. Galit Ben Tovel, for joining me. We're going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. We have so much more coming up for you here on the Holy Land Uncovered. Stay with us.